it's beautiful, isn't it, guys? Nvidia stock breaking out another all-time high, up over 170 bucks a share. It's a beautiful sight, man, especially when you predicted this. We got news that the H20 chips most likely are going to be able to be sold in China again, which is sending this stock through the roof right now. And if you guys have been watching my Nvidia videos, my content in general, we predicted this, guys. I said this weeks and weeks ago that Nvidia will ultimately be able to sell chips again to China. Here we are, and the stock is going nuts. We're going to cover everything that you need to know, my thoughts, what I'm looking to do. So hit the like button, subscribe, join the free email stock newsletter, check out my Patreon for my real-time portfolio updates. All the links are down below. And with that being said, cheers, take a sip of your coffee. Very important, guys, and let's dive into it. So again, Nvidia is up to another all-time high. We actually hit it in the pre-market at almost $173 a share, and this comes after we got news again that they're now, well, soon they'll be able to sell H20 chips to China again, which we'll dive deeper into here in a couple of minutes. But first, let me show you these charts. So once we got this news, as expected, the stock went berserk, right? $9-10 up in the overnight market when we got the news, and now we're just completely breaking out. And I mean, look, you shouldn't be surprised, especially if you've been watching the content here. I mean, look, we discussed time and time again that Nvidia stock, yes, it went up a lot from April, $83 all the way to what, $140.50. Yes, that was a big move, but at the end of the day, it was not. Or it was flat, essentially, at the end of the day. Yes, it went up from 80 to 150, but it was still at the same price it was at back in November when it got to 150 just a couple weeks ago, right? So we were pretty much flat still over the last 8, 9, 10 months, whatever it is. And you can see if I pull up this 3-year chart, Nvidia hit 155 bucks back in early November, and it took it all the way till the end of June to get back to that point. So essentially, it was 7 months of Nvidia not doing anything, right? And now that we're taking out this 155 spot, it's like, of course it's breaking out. You know, this is the breakout spot, the technical breakout spot. And now we got the China news fueling the breakout even more. So it's like, I'm not surprised at all that we're breaking out here. It's pretty clear that this was coming. It was clear. Now it's obviously clear now that it's here, right? So this stock is on the road to 200 bucks a share. I'm going to say it flat out right now. I don't know if we're going to get there this year, but that's definitely where this is trending to, right? And again, after 6, 7, 8 months of being flat, we're now just getting started, baby. We're just getting started, and it's going to get interesting. Let's just say that. And you all remember when these H20 chips got restricted to China, that was a big blow to the company because that's like them losing $15 to $20 billion of revenue. Boom, essentially like that. In the snap of a finger, they lost $15 to $20 billion of revenue, which now they're slowly going to get back, right? So this article, you guys see the CNBC headline here. It says, Nvidia says it will resume H20 AI chips sales to China soon following U.S. government assurances. And here's the legend himself, Jensen Huang, co-founder and CEO of Nvidia, who's done a lot of legwork over the last, 20 plus years, but also over the last couple of months, right? So we can see right here, the U.S. government back in April, you guys know this little history lesson, told Nvidia it would require a license to sell the chips to China. And, effectively that halted their sales, right? And the H20 chips had been designed specifically to bypass earlier export controls on Beijing. And the U.S. government has assured Nvidia that licenses will be granted, and Nvidia hopes to start deliveries soon, right? And Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang in recent months has ramped up his lobbying against export controls, arguing that they inhibited American tech leadership. In May, Huang said chip restrictions had already cut Nvidia's China market share nearly in half, which is unbelievable. And the potential change in U.S. stance follows a meeting with Huang and the U.S. President Donald Trump, right, last week. And during the talks, Huang had reaffirmed NVIDIA's support for the administration's job creation and onshoring efforts, as well as the aim for America to lead in global AI, which is obviously, the race right now. It's not just in the United States. Obviously, the AI race is global between, China, the U.S., Europe, all these different countries, blah, 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 these different areas, right? And Washington and Beijing last month agreed to a preliminary trade framework that allowed relaxing rare earth export controls by China and easing of tech export curbs by the United States. And Huang also announced a new fully compliant GPU, the RTX Pro, saying it was ideal for smart factories and logistics. And it was not clear if the reference was to the GPU being compliant with guidelines for exports to China, which is very critical. They're going to have to comply with these different guidelines. However, the potential resumption of H20 chips to China comes as a surprise. Ray Wang, a research director of Semiconductor, said, supply chain and emerging technologies at Futurum, I guess he works at, whatever, who cares where he works at. But, it's not a complete surprise to me. I kind of saw this happening, but I guess, the race to become the global leader of AI, maybe from that perspective, maybe it's a surprise letting China get these chips again because they're a big competitor to the U.S. All right, I get that, but it was only a matter of time. And the lifting of the H20 ban marks a significant and positive development for Nvidia, which will enable the company to reinforce its leadership in China. And the resumption of H20 shipments alongside the upcoming rollout of new export control compliant AI chips for the Chinese market should serve as a fresh growth catalyst in the coming quarters, which is good news. So, this is as good of news as we can get for Nvidia today. How much better could it be? And of course, with this news bringing up Nvidia, well, we're getting other stocks to go up as well, like AMD, even more so. Excuse me, guys. AMD is up 7% today. Yes, 7%. And obviously, their chips, their Chinese compliant or their China compliant chips also got restricted. So this is going to help them, obviously. Nvidia and AMD. And AMD is another one of my holdings. And it's just absolutely ripping. And not to toot my own horn, but did we not call this dip literally about a week ago when the stock dipped down to 133 after being up to like 150? It saw a healthy pullback. Now we're back to 155. Looking pretty good, guys. Looking pretty good here, AMD and Nvidia. So, I'm excited. I'm super excited. And would I FOMO into AMD now or Nvidia? Probably not, at least as a trade. I'd wait for a little bit of a pullback, especially here on AMD. But overall, fundamentally, this is great news, right? Great news for the quarters to come here, for the years to come. Great news for these companies as a lot of revenue is about to come back, right? Which I'm not surprised that happens. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. Join my free email stock newsletter and check out my Patreon for my my real-time portfolio updates. Mixing up my words here, guys. All the links are down below. I appreciate you all as always. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.